Hi, my name is Chef Drew Abruzzese from the Pineville Tavern in Pineville, Pennsylvania. Today we're going to make a little cauliflower al forno pasta, which means baked with a little bit of cheese. So to get to it, we're going to start by just prepping up some veggies. I like a little red onion to mine. Cauliflower is a white, pasta is white. This adds a little bit of color. Also, we're going to just slice down some garlic here. As opposed to chopping it and crushing it, I like it to have a little bit of bite to it. That's good there. Okay. Next, we're going to start putting everything together in the pan. This is a nice, quick dish, and we'll see you then. All right, so we have all my meats together. We're going to put the sauce together. It's a flash dish, very quick. So let's get started. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil to our pan. Good quality olive oil is important. We have some florets of cauliflower that are in season this year. Nice hot pan, some nice color on that. The idea is to get a good, big, nice caramelization flavor to this, both in the cauliflower, that'll sweeten up, as well as the onions and the garlic. Some of the sliced onions that we prepared before, I like to wait a minute before we add them, just so they don't burn. Everything cooks at a different time. We're going to lay the garlic right across the top, as not to burn that as well. Give this a little toss before we put it into the oven. And by the definition of al forno, we're going to bake it. Nice hot oven, 3 to 5 minutes, then we're going to add the pasta. One of my favorite ways to serve this dish is with a little bit of toasted breadcrumb on top. So before we drop our pasta and we sauce everything and put the plate together, I just want to toast some panko breadcrumbs, a little bit of parsley in a pan here. Add a little bit of olive oil, again, that good quality olive oil. And basically you can kind of hear it, hopefully, kind of toasting and frying as it goes along. Kind of sort of instantly creating this nice little contrasting crunchy garnish that's going to go over top along with the sweet saltiness of the dish. All right, got some good color. Cut the heat. And we're good to go. All right, so we're just going to finish up this dish by putting it all together. It's been a few minutes, and as you can see, all of our ingredients have kind of caramelized really well. We've got some nice color on them. We're going to swing over here and drop the pasta. I'm using spaghetti. Some people like to use rigatoni. It's preference. I like to finish it with just a little bit of white wine. A little bit of crushed red pepper flakes just for some spice, not too much. A little bit of chopped flat leaf parsley. Okay, give that a little toss. Let the wine cook off. We're going to come over here, grab our shocked spaghetti, leave a little bit of water. It helps create a little bit of the sauce, that starchy pasta water. We're going to give that a nice toss. You can see it's all coming together here. I like a little bit more olive oil, just to sort of kick it up a notch a little bit. Cut the heat to that. We're going to put it on the plate. Twist. Just going to start to add all the goodies on top. Top that with our grated locatelli romano. A little bit more fresh parsley. And of course, our crispy breadcrumbs for texture. And there it is. Spaghetti with cauliflower al forno. Hope you enjoyed it. Hi, welcome back. Drew Abruzzese from the Pineville Tavern in Pineville, Pennsylvania. We're going to be putting together a nice sort of late summer fall dish for you, a pan-seared salmon over a locally grown succotash. You can see over here we have some beautiful sweet corn and lima beans. They actually come from a farm that's less a mile down the road. we're just going to take the corn off the cob here. I like to cut a straight edge on the top and bottom to make sure that while we're rotating it here, it doesn't wobble all over the place. Add that right into here, some that we've cut already. And then these are our beautiful lima beans. Open them up, and as you can see, lima beans have a little bit of a membrane on them. We boil them very quickly and then shock them in ice water. Helps to loosen up the skin, and as you can see here, the skin simply slides right off, and you have this beautiful lima bean, which you either love or hate lima beans. It's an acquired taste. I grew up hating them until I covered them with bacon and cream and corn, and then I started to love them. So we'll just do a little cleanup here. I like to add a little bit of jalapeno to mine. We're just going to put a quick julienne on this, and then take it down into a small dice. Adds a little bit of spice to the dish, a little bit of character, takes it out of the norm there. And then we're also just going to clean up a little bit of onion and just slice that down to give it a little more sweetness and a little more character. Now it's time to put our succotash together. I like to start with a little bit of butter in the pan. Whole salted butter. Nice hot pan. I like to brown it a little bit, gives it some nuttiness. We're going to add our local sweet corn. Hold off on the lima beans for a minute because we want to keep them nice and bright green. Next is some of our chopped Bermuda red onion and our jalapeno peppers. Just a touch of salt, not too much. We have a little almost secretive ingredient at the end here when we finish this up the plate. After we get a little bit of color on that, kind of bring the onions down a little bit. We're going to chop a little bit of our house smoked applewood bacon. Not too much, we don't want to ruin the dish with just bacon flavor, but it is a nice little touch, just like the jalapeno, to sort of give us a unique characteristic to our dish. Another little toss here. And as all succotash should be finished, just a touch of heavy cream to really richen it up. Now it's time to cook our salmon. Okay, so we have our succotash finishing on the back of the stove, nice warm spot, all those flavors coming together. We're going to sear our salmon off now. We're using a wild king salmon or a Chinook salmon. Comes from Pacific Coast. It's a larger fish, very much in season right now. Just going to add a little bit of cooking oil to our pan here, nice hot pan. Come across here. Just going to drop it flesh side down in that oil, nice and hot. We didn't leave the skin on this salmon, particularly because it doesn't really serve a purpose in this dish. Sometimes we leave it on, sometimes we don't. But we find with this dish it's a little more delicate than everything else. So we're going to let that sear for just a second, separate a little bit off of the pan. Same size down, we're going to drop this right into a nice 450-degree oven. Really get a nice crust on that salmon that'll play really well when we finish it on the plate. Okay, now it's time to put everything together. We have our succotash on the stove over here. We're going to add our lima beans last minute. Again, they're very delicate. We don't want to beat them up too much or have the color disappear right before we plate. And plate these right in the center of the dish here. Salmon should be a perfect medium. Beautiful. Turn off any of the excess oil or butter. Put a little flip onto our succotash there. Nice golden crust. And if we weren't local enough, have some beautiful nasturtium that we grew in our garden just out in front of the restaurant. There it is. Wild king salmon, pan-seared, served on top of a very, very local succotash. Enjoy.